In this video, I wanted to talk about what's holding 99% of people back when it comes to like achieving their goals, achieving their dreams, whether it's like a software engineer who says they really want to work at Google, or they really want to become a software engineer and like get that job, or it's someone who like wants to start their own business, or someone who wants to start a YouTube channel, or someone who wants to start like dancing or like talking to people, like whatever. I want to talk about like, kind of like how I got here, at least like the thing that I think is like really, really core. I started off like at the bottom. I want to say like, essentially like, started from the bottom. Now we're here, right? Like, but like unironically that like I started off living in the projects, which is like this like, pretty poor like area of the United States where like the government just like pays you to live there because it's like so poor, and like they're just trying to help you out basically. And I like had like a bicycle like stolen. There was just way more crime. It was like everybody else was like was poor, and so like they kind of also had like their own problems and things like that, and like just tons and tons of like the best like things in life are not like there basically. And then we like went to like this trailer, and then didn't have like any internet, and then I like went to live at like my grandma's house, and then like in my grandma's house like I was like sleeping on like literally like an air mattress for like all of my high school. Like I had internet, which was great, which is really cool, but I never got to like get a car that was bought for me by my parents. Never got a car that was bought for me by my parents. I never got like I never had like the latest edition like supercomputer where I could like play like tons of video games on my like personal computer. Like, not to say like I was not that bad, right? So like I did have like when the Xbox 360 came out, like I saved up my money like from cutting grass and like doing chores, and like bought like an Xbox. But like I did not have money where I was like, oh, like yes, I have like a $20,000 car all gifted to me from my parents, or a $10,000 car or whatever, gifted by my parents. And so the main reason I mention this is that like I talked to like a lot of software engineers. I've talked to like a lot of people in like my high school and my college, and the big thing that I notice is that like there's just like these like mindset blocks that kind of happen where it's like this will never happen. And so like anyways, like the point of me saying like all this stuff was just that like there were so many reasons in my life where I just needed to think that, oh, well, I could never do this, right? So I could have said, oh, well, there is no evidence in my life that's going to point and say that like I'm going to be able to take algebra or calculus or whatever. Like I'm like I was the first person, in like my family, like, in the area of the people who I was talking to, like on a daily basis to graduate college. And like, there was no reason for me to think, oh, okay, well, like we're going to graduate college, because there was no evidence of it, right? There was no like evidence of like, oh, I'm going to be really, really good at math, because like I wasn't, like I didn't have any good grades. I was just surviving, right? And so, but I hear a lot of people who actually have evidence that like they could be good at something and that they could do something, and then like they just give it up, right? But like I could have done that. Like I could have said like, oh, well, I've never done good at math, so like why would I ever be good at math? Why would I ever have a computer science degree? Why would I ever be working for like Citibank programming for them when I've never done any of that, right? Like and I get like more passionate about this because like this is seriously like the unlock. Like if you took like everything in my life and you took like you stripped this away, I would be like right there, because what would have happened is I would have said, I've never done algebra, I've never done calculus, I cannot do this. And then I never would have done it. I never even would have tried. And so like with this video, I'm like just hoping that like at least one of you guys just thinks that like, okay, well, I can maybe just try to study for like 30 to 1 hour a day and get better at doing leak code, or doing my own business, or trying to become a programmer, or like literally like whatever. Like it doesn't even have to be like, tech related or whatever, or YouTube related or business related or anything. It's just that like it could be like just as simple as like talking to somebody, or anything. Like I just think that like in life, like it's really just skills, and it's just about like, and anything can be acquired by any person as long as you just put in the work to like move a little bit forward every single day. And I mention this because I'm not smart. Like I'm not like any special. Like I never was like in elementary school and they were like, oh, well, you're a super genius. Like you're going to go far in life. Like nobody thought that at all. I was not athletic. I did not have any like actual like good grades or anything. But then like one by one, I just like started like capturing like all of these things, right? So like I started off with like nothing skills, like nothing, like just being below average probably in most things, except video games, because I played a ton of video games but like it wasn't until like, okay, like I was like unfit, like I just wasn't like athletic. And then I was like, oh, so if I just work at being athletic, then I just get better and better and better, and then I get faster and faster and faster, and I get stronger and stronger and stronger. And I was like, oh, cool. Well, that's crazy how that kind of works. And then I'm like, oh, well, maybe like I should also do this for like school. And then I like got that for school. And then I was like, oh, well, I've never programmed something before, but like maybe I could try it, or like maybe I could try doing like calculus, even though I've never had. And then I did that. And then I was like, oh, well, okay, we're in the computer science classes. Like, what if I could just like work on programming and work on getting better at LeetCode and like try to get a job? And I was like, oh, shoot, okay, I did that too. I fixed my resume, I did all this stuff. And then like now we're in this kind of area where I'm just like, okay, well, maybe I could do videos, and maybe like those will do well. Like, like maybe if I just show up every single day and I try making a video and I try talking into a camera, every day, well, then maybe I'm going to get better at that. And then I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And like, there's other dreams too, and like other goals too. But like, I'm not thinking like, oh, well, it's never going to happen, so like, I'm just not even going to try. And I think at least a lot of people that I talk to seem to have that, where they think that it's like innate talent, and like it's like innate, like something like people are just born really, really smart. And then people are like born with being able to like, do these things and like not do these things. So I think that's like the biggest like blocker for a lot of people, at least, that I'm talking to, which is that like, I can talk to people who are like really, really smart. Like they had like just such an amazing life where like their parents like took them here, their parents took them here, like their parents like, put them in like prep school classes. And so like they, they have like just an above average, just skills when it comes to reading, when it comes to doing math. And then they say like, oh, well, I could never like, study like this thing. Like, I'm just not smart enough. And then because of that, like they go through their college, like they don't study that thing. Like they don't study math or whatever, like whatever thing that they like doing, or they, could potentially like, really push them ahead in life. And then they just give up, and it just like the dream like dies there. And like, and on the other end too, like I would do calls with software engineers, and I would like just give them advice to help them like get interviews and help them like improve and help them, like get their like a dream job offer. And I went on calls completely for free with like 50 people. And like, just the big thing that I would hear is just like, it's just like, oh, well, it's all over. Like, there's just no point, like bad job market. Like, what can you do? And these people will spend literally maybe 2 hours every week, like working, like on like actually like, hitting that goal. So like they tried for like 10 hours and they were like, oh, well, this doesn't work. And they just gave up. And like, that is like so insane to me. Like I would like, and I would never do this because again, my mindset's going to be like, I'm going to work on this. I'm going to keep doing it. I can see that this works for 1,000 other people, for 10,000 other people. And they're all doing this one thing. So like, I'm going to try to do that one thing, and I'm just going to keep doing it. But for a lot of people, it's just like, at least a lot of people, that's like surprising to me, is just that like, it's like, I'm going to work for like 2 hours a week. And then I'm going to like, and when it doesn't work out for me, then I'm going to say, okay, well, I can never do this anyways. Like, it's out of my control. I can never do it. And then they don't. And so like for the people who are like thinking, I want to become a software engineer, I think it comes down to just one, like believing in yourself, one, thinking like, bro, like if you just spent like 30 minutes or like an hour, just like coding projects, like every single day, for an entire year, like you're going to have like insane stuff made, and like someone is going to be really, really impressed by what you've made. But like, then again, it comes down to just like, I don't believe you. I don't believe in myself. And so I'm never even going to do that, because if I try doing that and then I fail, like, wow, how much of an idiot would I feel like if I spent so much time doing all that stuff? And so, I think that this might be it for the video. I don't know if I have anything else really to talk about. I think we kind of hit everything on the head. So this was this segment was a little bit different, right? So I think I'm going to maybe try picking this up. At least I want to try to make a video every single day about just something that I think is like top of mind, something that I think is, would be helpful for people to hear. And I think this is like just one that's like just really, really huge, because, and the problem with this though is that like, if you like it's okay to like, it's cool to like be motivated by this and say like, oh my God, yes, I could totally do it. But like the motivation is going to fade. And I think it's like really, really important to have like that self like knowledge of just saying like, okay, well, the motivation is going to fade. I'm going to go back to being like, oh my God, nothing could ever work. Everything's going to be like, everything's like just so over. But I think having like, you need to know that like, that's going to fade. Like the emotions are going to fade and you're going to be back to reality. And then just knowing like, okay, well, my mind is just going to try to play tricks on me. And I think that helps a lot. Like this is kind of just reframed with like cognitive behavioral therapy, which has like a ton of research behind it. But like the kind of just general idea is like, there's going to be like thoughts that your mind gives you, and then you just don't have to accept those as reality. But Anyways, I think I'm going to be doing these kind of videos where I'm just going to be sitting down, talking, and into the camera, maybe every day. We'll see what happens. I do really want to make a video like every single day, because everybody says if you make a video every day, well, then things just get good. And I want to get better at talking. I want to get better at like, how I'm using, my voice and how I'm presenting things and everything like that. And so I think that'll be good. Yeah. And I think that is it for today. So I'll see you guys in another video. Hopefully this like helps. I don't know if I should have made this longer. I could have talked about this for more and more and more. Just going over like case by case by case by case by case of like all the people who I think this stuff like applies to, and like all the people who like, I think if you just like didn't give up and you did not just say like, oh, well, I can never be a programmer. I can never pass math. I can never do that. Oh, well, I can never do a business. Oh, well, I can never like talk to people. Oh, I can never go like dancing. Like, that's just so weird. Like, that's so crazy. Right. But if you just take the step like in the right direction, if you spend time doing it, like, I think you'll get really, really surprised by like the amount of progress that you're making. And then when you see the progress, you're like, oh, this thing actually works. And you keep doing it, and then you like do it again, you get more progress, and then you like keep doing it, and you just keep, and then you kind of get to this point where you're like me, where you're just doing like really, really crazy things, like trying to make videos, or like trying to, do elite code and try to become like top 1%, top 2%, whatever. So yeah, see you guys in another video.